You have a property you want to sell, and it's going to make you some money. The trade-off is it'll be time to pay some taxes. But there may be a way to trade paying those taxes for a later due date. Jim Lineweaver is here to explain. Jim is a certified financial planner professional with the Lineweaver Financial Group. So welcome back to the show.
Good to see you.
This kind of sounds like trading spaces, you know? So how does this work?
It could be, but this is not for your primary home. This would be for any type of investment property that you would have had. So it could be a single home that you might have rented out, a double, a duplex. It could be a commercial building. So a lot of times you depreciate an asset like real estate to a certain level, and then if you want to sell it, you're going to have to pay a capital gain on that. But you might want to stay in the real estate business, so you want to go buy something else. So instead of paying those capital gain taxes back to Uncle Sam and then take the net and invest it, in real estate you can do what's called a 1031 exchange. So 1031 is the IRS code that it falls under, but it means that you can exchange a like property for another one and not have to pay any taxes. You just have to be very careful how you do it because it has to go through a third-party administrator. You can't just get the check or the cash it and then try to flip it around because you will pay taxes in that way.
Okay, so you're swapping houses. How easy is really to find somebody who's willing to swap these buildings?
That's not easy, okay, unless this is your like full-time kind of hobby or a business, I should say. But what ends up happening is to find that one individual you want to swap houses with is very remote. However, this 1035 exchange or 1031 exchange gives you a window. So it says if you want to sell your property, the money will go to this escrow agent, and then what's going to happen is you'll have 45 days to maybe identify another property, but then you're going to have to close within 180 days. So you have to be very careful of how you do that. So that's what's listed on the screen here, because if you don't follow these rules and if you don't have a third-party administrator or somebody else handling that money, then what ends up happening is that this will all be negated and all taxes will be due.
And we don't want that.
No.
You really definitely got to follow the rules.
Yeah. I don't mind paying my fair share, but if I could postpone it or gain more wealth by it and pay them later, that would be a better thing.
Absolutely would be a better thing. So you've got this intermediary, that's a delayed exchange or something like that?
Yeah, so that's why they put these stipulations on there. They give you a window of time, but you definitely have to make sure you follow those guidelines. And when we talk about like properties, it doesn't have to be a single family home for a single family home. I could take a single family home and go into an apartment building. I could go into a duplex. I could exchange it to a commercial building. I want to buy a strip center. It can be a lot of different things, but it's all going to fall maybe in that rental side. And then also if you say, if I take a house and I want to go buy land, and maybe I'm going to build a house on it eventually to live in, well, then you still have to hold it as an investment property for so long.
Okay.
And then there's certain guidelines with that, but then maybe eventually if you want to parcel something out and build your own home on it, you can. But all these things are laid out and you really have to stick to them.
Okay, so what if you find a replacement property before you can sell your old property?
Okay, well then just flip it. Okay, so now it's called a reverse 1031 exchange. So what that does is says, okay, well, I found a property that I don't want to buy, and I haven't been able to get rid of this other property yet. Same rules would apply. These have to go through usually like limited liability companies, so the tax structure is a little different.
Okay.
But you're going to have the same 45 days to identify that other property, get that closed within 180 days. So you're not kind of too stuck. You can reverse the process, but it still gives you a window to say, okay, I'm going to buy this other property. Now I may have a fire sale over here on the other one, but hopefully you can manage that well, still get some good profits out of it, and roll it back into that other property and just reverse the process.
And is it do-it-yourself?
No.
It doesn't sound like it.
No. You can exchange, you can actually identify the properties and do all that research and everything on your own. You can never touch the money in the process. That's the key. You have to go to one of these other mediaries to get it done.
Okay.
Otherwise, Uncle Sam's going to be knocking on your door and
Absolutely.
you got to pay the bill, which is what we're trying to prevent, at least for the time being.
Okay. Postponing taxes on your sold property is possible, but it does take some very precise planning. For help, give Jim a call. His number's next.
To find out more, call the Lineweaver Financial Group at 1-888-313-4009 or log on to www.lineweaver.net.